It's become one of the biggest festivals around the country, at least the most anticipated in our area. The 2025 Montclair Jazz Festival Jamboree begins at noon on Saturday, September 13th, followed by the block party that will begin at 8 p.m. And joining us, as always, to talk about this great event is the Jazz House Kids founder and president, Melissa Walker. Melissa and her husband, Christian McBride, created the Montclair Jazz Festival back in 2010 in Ishwayne Park. Back then, it was a much smaller event, but now it's huge. Great to see you, Melissa.
It is so great to be here, Doug. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. As always, there probably wouldn't be a jazz festival if it weren't for WBGO, because there wouldn't be a Jazz House Kids.
Well, that is true. With some suggestions from WBGO and Gary Walker, you eventually created Jazz House Kids and prominent in this festival again. But what a time it is to be Melissa Walker and Christian McBride. I just had Christian on to talk about his brand new album, Without Further Ado, Volume 1. And both of you were just on national television talking about this festival.
Yeah, we're so proud of this festival. I'm so proud of the work that he's doing, bringing young talent and just carrying on this tradition. So, I just I'm his biggest fan. And I think that the Jazz House and the work of the festival is just an extension of our commitment to this cultural art form and our desire to really support emerging talent and then bring the very best that we can to our neighbors and to do it, Doug, with no tickets required. And that's a big lift these days, but it is hugely important to us. And we would not be more excited than to present the 16th annual Montclair Jazz Festival Downtown Jamboree next Saturday.
And that will be at the downtown stage where the block party will be, and Lackawanna Plaza, Lackawanna Station will be where the grand finale will be for the festival jamboree. Once again, that begins at noon on Saturday, September 13th. We talked about it last year, how far this event has come. Now you have another stellar lineup, but what you said earlier is key. You have emerging talent, and then of course you have the superstars. So we'll talk about the superstars first. The Gotham Kings, led by trumpeter and two-time Grammy nominated Alfonso Horn, will kick off the festival. What do you want to say about Alfonso?
I think what's so beautiful about what Alfonso is doing, not only is he a celebrated trumpeter, but he's bringing the style of New Orleans that we all love, the second line and that feel that is about bringing people together, literally in the streets. That's an art form that we're thrilled to have at the festival this year. They're going to start promenading down Bloomfield Avenue, our main corridor in Montclair. And I know they will bring with them so many fans and friends who are just that infectious music and that style, that intricate style, that interplay that happens while they walk with that second line sound. So we're thrilled to kick off the Gotham Kings. They will be with us all day long. They will weave in and out throughout acts on the entire festival site. And that energy, it's just infectious. So we couldn't be more thrilled that they're joining us.
And also you have acclaimed saxophonist Lakeisha Benjamin in Phoenix with this meld of jazz, R&B, and funk.
You know, Lakeisha is just tearing up stages. She is a fantastic artist, a fantastic, incredible musicianship, as well as an entertainer. And so when she comes to stage, oftentimes you don't want to have to follow her. So we are, in fact, closing the show with Lakeisha Benjamin in Phoenix. She's also someone who had been a part of the Jazz House. She's helped us with our Chica Power program uh, a number of years ago when she was teaching with us. She's a big voice on the scene and a role model for so many young girls who want to play this music. And so she's really important on and off stage, and she brings a powerhouse show.
Another great surprise is you can hear this gentleman on Christian's new album, Singing Moanin', is Jose James. He will be there performing as well. And I know Christian was talking about when it comes to just singing some of these classic tunes,
Yeah.
Jose really stands out. I know Christian just loves his voice.
Oh, he's a tremendous voice. And also just this soulful, wonderful person. But we are really thrilled to have him back. We had him, I don't know how long ago, but we're glad to have him back and bring him back to the festival. I think what's so special about him is that he has this ability to sing just about anything. But for me and Christian, what we love the most is when Jose James is singing jazz. And so we know that he will bring another incredible show and he will weave the Jose James magic. He's got his new project on Coltrane. He has done the Bill Withers project, his own work. He is an incredible artist. And again, he's also this artist that wants to nurture young talent. So whenever he comes to Jazz House, he's so encouraging to our music stage. So he's just so at home, and we love him, and we're glad he's with us again.
And not only are we going to have the sounds of New Orleans from the Gotham Kings, but we're going to have Afro-Latin rhythms and unmatched musicality from Luisito Quintero, the Grammy-winning master percussionist from Venezuela. I know that he's going to bring the crowd to its feet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, we are talking about one of the giants of this music. He's on over 700 recordings, a multi-Grammy and Latin Grammy artist. He is the who's who call. And so for him to bring his group called Third Element, and for the first time, be in Montclair and to be a part of the Jazz House experience and the Montclair Jazz Festival, we're really thrilled. I'm sure he's hoping that maybe Christian will jump on stage with him. They've done a lot of work together, but this man is the first call. And you want to talk about Afro Latin and Latin jazz? He's the first call. His group is fantastic. I kind of can't wait to see what he has in store for us.
And last but not least, of course, Christian McBride's Ursa Major is the nine-time Grammy Award-winning bold multi-generational quintet will be playing. But as you mentioned, Christian likes to jump up on stage and join a lot of these performers because he can.
Yeah. Listen, I this group Ursa Major, I just love what they're doing, and quite frankly, it's the tradition of the music really being brought to life again. I mean, it's a folk music. It's handed down from one generation to the next. You know, people handed it down to the greats. The greats handed it down to Christian, and Christian is playing it forward by handing it down and putting these fantastic musicians on stage. Each of them now, their careers are just taking flight. And so they never disappoint, and it's exciting to see. And again, for an organization such as Jazz House Kids, dedicated to fostering young talent, there's nothing better than to see these young musicians in Ursa Major who inspire our musicians, because I know a number of them will be gracing the stages around the world in due time.
Yeah, that's a beautiful part of it. The Jazz House Collective is celebrating the music of this year's legacy artist, New Jersey's very own James Moody. And I know this is special to both you and Christian. Talk a little bit more about the Jazz House Collective as people come back from all their time spent at Jazz House Kids and just provide wonderful sounds from the stage.
We have an incredible teaching faculty at Jazz House. They're the backbone. They are the mentors, they are the teachers, they are inspiring our young people to manifest greatness, quite frankly. And so to give them the opportunity to do what they do best, and their other superpower, which is as a musician on stage, it was really important for the Jazz House to create a collective that would perform at each and every one of our festivals. And over the last number of years, they have played the music of the artists that we are celebrating. And of course, this year, it is the 100th anniversary and the birthday of none other than Newark's own, New Jersey's own, James Moody. And so they will be performing his music throughout the set. And so it's a really beautiful coming together. And Doug, I'm not sure if you know this, but thanks to Linda Moody, his widow, they have established a James Moody Scholarship for New Jersey that we curate each and every year. So not only will you hear this music, but his legacy will literally be played forward. It is a $10,000 scholarship for a young person who is going on to study jazz performance. And so this day, we will bring that young person to stage to receive this award from Linda herself. And she has been a tireless advocate to making sure that not only is her husband's legacy foremost in this music, but that it continues on in the lives of others. So, it's going to be a beautiful moment. He's the face of this year's festival. And, we're just so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to kind of see it all come together as it is.
Are you allowed to tell us who the recipient is at this point?
That's a big surprise. So I'm
Okay.
going to leave that for the stage.
There's also music on the emerging musician stage where we're talking about these young artists. 50 of them from the Jazz House Kids program, ages 14 to 25, will be featured, including the debut of this year's Alumni Jazz House All Stars. Now, this group's of accomplished musicians will set sail in January of 2026 on McBride's World at Sea. Christian's
Yes.
thrilling performance of live across the Caribbean and performing on some same stages and some of the hottest stars today, including Samara Joy, Lettucey, Benny Green, Cecile McLaurin Salvon, and the Christian McBride Big Band, McBride's World at Sea. So this is real exciting stuff for these young
Yeah.
musicians. Not only are they getting mentoring and great teaching, but they get to experience this whole live aspect and joining some of the greats.
Yeah. So thanks to Signature Cruise Experiences, for the last number of years, they teamed up with the Jazz House and literally brought a band on the cruise. We call them the Jazz House All Stars. And so I think they're very aware, Michael Lazarus and his team, that there's a lineage, and he certainly, and the crews and the work that the crews do, it's certainly a big part of that lineage. Hiring, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of musicians each and every year before thousands and thousands of fans. And so we're really delighted. So on the main stage, which we just talked about, that's called McBride's World at Sea main stage. We're going to put the veterans on, those that are having incredible careers today. But on the second stage, thanks to Signature Cruises as well, we will feature this year's All Stars that will sail in January, and we invite everybody to come with us. And then our alumni, some of our alumni that are out there in school right now, and they already have professional careers that have been started. And then we will also feature some of our current musicians, those who are in their teens and they're just playing it. So we are so excited to kind of see that come full circle, and that partnership with Signature Cruises and McBride's World at Sea is something that we're very proud of.
I'm sure many people realize that Melissa Walker is just not the co-founder and president of Jazz House Kids, but has also been a great singer through the years. I'm curious what you think of Christian's new album that features all these great vocalists that he's worked with at NJ Pack and had already written all this material for them and
Yeah.
arrangements and said, "Hey, we need to do this again." That the volume one is incredible.
Not only have I had the pleasure of performing with Christian's big band over the years, and I will be on volume two, I love his commitment to singers. It's really deep. It goes back. Of course, it starts with James Brown, and through the years, all of his love for soul and R&B, and then his love for this music, for jazz and the great singers. And he's a historian of Frank Sinatra and so many of the singers, but it is true and deep in his bones. He's an incredible arranger. He's really pulling out, and he listens to the singer. He gets into, how they phrase, um, you know, what they're trying to say in their music, and he writes accordingly. So I love this record, and you can tell it's just like Christian. He can pull together artists from so many different backgrounds and have so many different places that they will go in the music. And that's ultimately because it's a conversation and he's listening to them. So I love this record. From time to time, I get to sing one or two of their tunes on a set with him. So I just think it's fantastic. You know, Doug, I want to share this. You know, through our summer workshop this year, he did an entire set conversation for all of our students, 147 of them just recently. And he talked about the jazz singer. And we don't have enough instrumentalists that really talk about the magic of the jazz singer. And so it's great that he's shedding that light on them. And, we're going to have one of them with us, Jose James.
Yeah, and if you haven't had a chance to listen, it is available. Volume one is available now. And it has Jose James, it has Samara Joy, it has Sting, it has Cecile McLaurin-Salvant, and others. And volume two now, we've just learned, will have Melissa Walker. So we can't wait for volume two to come out. Now, people know that they don't need a ticket, but suddenly parking has become, something that people need to be aware of. So, with the festival starting at noon, what is your advice for people as they travel to the Montclair Jazz Festival?
Doug, I always suggest public transportation when possible, and Montclair has two train stations on New Jersey Transit lines within just minutes. In addition, we've got a number of parking garages, again within minutes in the downtown corridor. Also, if you're close, I think it's going to be a sunny day. We've weathered a lot of storms over the years, Doug, with the Montclair Jazz Festival, but fingers crossed, it's looking good for a beautiful sunny day, mid to high 70s. Listen, I sound like I'm doing a weather reporting here, but nonetheless, get your bike, take a walk, but just get there. Join the thousands of people that are going to come together for this music in harmony for the Montclair Jazz Festival. So a lot of different ways to get there.
How many thousands are you expecting?
Well, last year for the 15th annual, we had over 25,000 people. And so new this year will be an added feature. And the inside of Lackawanna Station, which has been restored, will host the Improbable Art Expo. And so, fans that are coming down for the festival not only will enjoy all of the music and all of the offerings, the food and the jazz bar and emerging artists and the Family Jazz Discovery Zone and everything going on at the main stage at McBride's World at Sea and on our emerging stage. Now they can go through Lackawanna Station for this incredible art expo. We're really thrilled. We're really appreciative that BDP Holdings, who are building out that Lackawanna Plaza area, have put such an array of artists together. The festival's mantra is hear live music, see live music, be live music. So you can hear it all day long from noon to 10 p.m. You can literally see it by going into the Art Expo. And of course, you can get it by being a part of this extravaganza with your neighbors and then dancing in the streets with our block party and DJ Brother Mister. A lot in store. Doug, an additional feature of the festival, it's close to 200 vendors. And this year we have two marketplaces for them, the NJEDA Marketplace. They can wander around. There's a food court this year that we put in. So many different artisans from the New Jersey area, as well as the Rayo's Homemade Vendor Village. So again, people will just wander around. They'll be hearing the Gotham Kings. They'll be hearing the music from the two stages, and they can just wander around and pick up some art from the incredible artisans around our state and enjoy the day. Also, when they come to the site, there are 3 welcome areas. And I want to make sure that they know to pick up a raffle. It will support our tuition assistance program, but there are two huge prizes for them. You know, our official airlines is United Airlines. They just flew us to Italy with our award-winning Jazz House Big Band. And they have 2 free tickets to anywhere in the world that they fly. And so this incredible raffle offering on first class, the best seat that they can get any time of the year will be on raffle at the welcome area, as well as a stateroom for 2 on McBride's World at Sea. So I love how our partners are literally giving our fans a way to kind of pick up their own perks and benefits and make their own trip. And lastly, I just want people to know that if they want to become a member and score some big perks, please join us and get in the members tent. And that's where WBGO will also be. Come to the members tent. And so we have a program called Friends of the Festival and Take Five. So check us out on montclairjazzfestival.org or on jazzhousekids.org and see how you can get front row and center at the Montclair Jazz Festival.
And that's September 13th, Saturday, starts at noon, the Montclair Jazz Festival Jamboree. And as Melissa just mentioned, the block party continues everything at 8 o'clock on the downtown stage. And Lackawanna Plaza is the place you want to be, Lackawanna Station, for the start at noon of the 2025 Montclair Jazz Festival Jamboree. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Melissa. Congratulations, and we'll see you there.
Thank you.